Good afternoon, everyone. My topic for today is Code on Sanitation of the Philippines, Presidential Decree number 856. First, background or history of the law. This law is signed by President Ferdinand E. Marcos on December 23, 1975 in the city of Manila. The presidential decree is composed of 22 chapters and 106 sections. Whereas the health of people being of paramount importance, all effort of public service should be directed towards the protection and promotion of health. And whereas with the advance in the field of sanitation, in recent years there arises the need for updating and codifying our scattered sanitary laws to ensure that they are in keeping with modern standards of sanitation and provide a handy reference and guide for their enforcement. To sum, all the chapters and the whole declaration of the Code Sanitation of the Philippines, these acts focus on the sanitary well-being of the Filipinos from the food we eat to the place we stay, transportation, as well as the place we often visit. Thus, making sure that everything is safe and healthy, preventing crunches that may occur due to improper waste management and dirty environment. Food establishment had a great extent of conformity with the standards set by the Presidential Decree number 856 in terms of structure and facilities, personal hygiene of the staff, food purchasing, washing utensils, and storage of wash utensils. While food storage and waste disposal had only moderate extent of conformity with the standards set by the Sanitation Code of the Philippines. So next is salient features of the Act. Chapter 2, Water Supply, Section 9, prescribes standards and procedures. Standards for drinking water under bacteriological and chemical examination together with the evaluation of results shall conform to the criteria set by the National Drinking Water Standards. The treatment of water to render it safe for drinking and the disinfection of the contaminated water sources together with their distribution systems shall be in accordance with procedures prescribed by the department. Several examination and tests are to be done in order to fully release a standard drinking water for Filipino safety measure. So second is chapter 3, food establishment, section 14, sanitary permit. No person or entity shall operate a food establishment for public patronage without securing a permit from the local health office. So the term food establishment as used in this chapter means an establishment where food or drinks are manufactured, processed, stored, and sold or served. The use of kitchen utensils, food ingredients, ventilation, walls, as well as the employees are strictly monitored. Those securing safe food that Filipino people will enjoy without minding food poisoning and dirty environment. So, Chapter 4, Public Laundry, Section 37, Sanitary Permit. No public laundry shall operate without a sanitary permit from the secretary or his duty authorized representative. As used in this chapter, a public laundry is a laundry established and operated for commercial purpose, open to the public and not to an exclusive client. Those making sure the laundry supplies in both liquid and solid state shall be properly stored, prepared, and handled. Containers of chemicals shall be properly labeled. It is also make sure that the site should be distant from sources and only durable construction materials shall be used. Smooth and watertight materials shall be used for flooring. Chapter 5. So, rest areas, terminals, bus stops, and several stations. Section 54, rest areas, bus terminal, bus stops, and service station areas with one or more permanent sheds, building and service facilities for motor vehicles shall be provided with sanitary facilities for the convenience and personal necessities of the traveling public. Those making sure that rest areas, bus terminals, bus stop, and service stations shall be established with ample area to prevent overcrowding of motor vehicles and travelers. They shall also be provided with adequate ventilation and lighting and away from sources of nuisance. These are some of the chapters of Sanitary Code of the Philippines. So next is strength of the act. Promotion and preservation of health and health standards. Extend maximum health service in rural areas and provide medical care for people who can't afford due to poverty. Next is develop, administer, and coordinates health service and activities. Upgrade the standards of medical practices and quality of health service. Assist local health agencies in developing public health programs. And last is it directs public health service towards protection and promotion of the health of the Filipinos. So, next is weakness of the act. So, despite being all around help to the sanitary needs, the act does entirely work in every area responsible. Its large jurisdiction made it impossible for the act to function in an absolute manner because of the wide area it holds. Many loopholes can be found and will remain unseen in the decreased authority. Many restaurants and food chains are in the blind spots and are still at large in number of lack in foods. Establishment mentioned in the chapter 3, many ignored protocols and are still managing in their own way, neglecting proper etiquettes, rules, and regulation in a food serving agencies. So we are familiar with sudden inspections. However, it does not necessarily solve the problem that many food serving chains are stubborn in using the right and just way of serving proper foods to their customers. It is also applies in several agencies, thus making the act appear nothing. So